guys, good morning. My name is Andrea, and the purpose of this video is to share a part of my journey that I know will help me, and I know that it'll help somebody else. And so I felt so compelled to share. And I was supposed to do it yesterday, which is why I'm coming before you natural, because I had no plans in sharing it this way. But I have a bump here and one here, something bit me. So, my hair, anyway. So, but I figured it needed to be done, and I didn't want to make any more excuses. I wanted to do it. So I'm getting it done. So, what I want to share is, I've had time to reflect on my journey and as I'm starting, I started a new adventure, and it was to free myself from different, all the mindsets or attachments or baggage that was holding me from being my best self and from achieving my dreams. Things took turns, and I didn't expect it to happen like it did, but it helped me and have more time on my hands now than ever before. I think since I've been 18. I just turned 41 yesterday. Happy birthday. And I had more time to reflect on my life and my journey. And 2 weeks ago, it just hit me that, because I had no time to really think about these things, but it hit me, Andrea, you are a workaholic, because I worked like feverishly, like whatever I did, I went ham. But there's something like helped me back with this venture. So I had to experience, go through and analyze that and look at things, say why. But when I was working really hard and, I was drowning myself from, issues or circumstances that was going on in life. And I don't think that's ever healthy. And it started not, when I started working, but it started when I, showing signs when I was first a Christian. I started to, you come as a Christian with all the bondage and, not bondage, but your baggage and, situations that you've experienced and situations in life or people or whatever. And you bring that, right? But you don't work through any of it. So I may have addressed it, but I didn't work through any of it. So that's what was happening. And every time something would happen, I just delved myself further and further in church. And I think church is a great thing, but I think anything we overdo is not healthy. And faith without works is dead. So we have the faith, but without the works, that's fantasy land, right? So, like I was saying 2 weeks ago, I realized that I was a workaholic, and I was doing the same things that I was doing in my Christian walk, drowning everything out with church. I started to, and after I said I wouldn't do that anymore, which I didn't do it in that way, it started with work. And I had no idea. I had no idea that had even started to happen. So, but it did, and it lasted for years. And I grew to a place where I was so tired and burnt out, physically, emotionally, in every way. So, ended up going to church, and my pastor was talking about this very thing that I experienced about myself 2 weeks ago. And he brought up interesting points. Was first that we dwell in a fantasy land, like I just said, faith without works, that's fantasy land. Like I think goals and dreams, they're very healthy, and they're motivated and could drive us. However, if we don't put the work in to get there, to do those, to accomplish those things, I think that's fantasy world. So faith without works, that equals fantasy land. And it's also, that's dead action. So he brought up that point that, we could live in fantasy land and not address or confront things. And confrontation is good, especially when it's in our life. And it's something that we can grow from. Don't run from it, but just, confront it. So anyway, his point that he brought up was we have to know what we're bound by, right? So he used an analogy of if I'm bound by a rope, don't bring me a bolt cutter, bring me a knife so I can cut myself free. Or if I'm bound up by chains, yeah, bring me the butt cutter so the bolt cutter so I could set myself free. But if we don't know what's binding us or what's holding us back, then we don't know. We won't ever know how to be free. And I think that was so powerful. And that helped me so much, especially with where I am now. So I wanted to share that with somebody else. First, I realized that I was a workaholic and like I was a churchaholic. Oftentimes we don't deal with things, but you don't confront anything. It'll repeat. It'll repeat in your life as it did mine. So I thought that I had fixed myself. But I was self-medicating myself just like I was with church, with work. And I didn't have time to make goals, far less work to achieve them. And yeah, so that helped me. So now that's what I'm doing, working through it, addressing it, cutting myself free. And in the process right now today, looking at ways and mapping out things that I could do to further my achieving my dream and reaching my goals. So remember, faith without works is dead, and faith without works equals the fantasy land. So if you have an issue in your life that you haven't addressed or done the work, equally done the work to get out of, it's going to show up somewhere else in your life. And that I've experienced more than once. So that's all I wanted to share today. I don't want these to be super long. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.